Alright, I'm here. Hey everybody. Just give me a sec while I tweet out and let everyone know that the stream's starting. And I'll be a little quiet for a moment while that happens. Yeah, cool. Okay. It sounds like my audio is working. I've got it through the mic now. Um, so hey. Hi Jerry. Alright, I'm gonna be quiet for a second here because I've gotta try to type a tweet. Oh, it's like my brain is like, what what am I doing right now? Um All right, hold on a sec. I'm terrible about having spelling errors in my tweets. I have to make sure I double check them now because I misspelled my own game earlier today. It's pretty bad. Yeah, husband is back there. Wave, husband. Yay. Okay, hold on. Oh god, this horribly loud noise is happening right now. Why is this happening? I told you to go on my headset. Don't do this to me. All right. Shut up, Roy. The reason I kind of wanted to change back to the webcam is because this doesn't pick you up at all. Like it has to be right next to my face to even pick me up. Um, so it was kind of weird when I was talking to you on the stream the other day because it wasn't picking up your voice. But I'll be talking in this direction. It wouldn't pick me up enough. Though I could hook it up, right? I could hook it up and then also just have it come through as well as like my headset. Anyway, we can think about that later. That's not a thing to think about at this moment. I'm trying to share things on Facebook. Okay. No, I did not spell it read-armed engines. What was it that the well, yeah, this time it was Engians or something stupid. But what was it the guys said from Noah's Arcade? Oh, they said almond engines. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. Right, okay. So now I'm done faffing around with Twitter, etc. Yay! Thank you for following, Jerry. Okay. So um, today I am working on the Mortar train, which is the last enemy that I need for the Bandit Badlands, which is the level that we were hoping to have done by Saturday. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's okay because we have incremental builds, so we have our builds from last time we can use at the event we're going to on Saturday. But anyway, this is the Mortar train, so I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm on about. So this is like a combination of several of our other enemies. So this part of the front is kind of like our saw engine, which is an enemy that comes in behind the train in one of the previous levels and has this big saw blade and tries to saw you down. Um, and it's pulling along behind it these mortars, which are other enemies that sort of are placed individually around levels in other parts of the game. Um, but this one's following you, so these mortars, rather than just scrolling by, they'll kind of stay behind you and be firing. Um, and actually, because it's a combination of these previous enemies, there's not too much that needs to be done. Like the mortars will just kind of work. The main thing I need to do is the movement of the train, so how it will move across. Roy is currently working on what it looks like when it dies, because it's going to have it explode and all these parts fly everywhere. And then the only other thing I need to do is right now, if I were actually to press play, this will actually work as it is. But these guys will all shoot at once, which is not what we want. And there's also a bug right now where their shots blow each other up, which is which is also not correct. No, I don't know when that happened or how that happened. That shouldn't that shouldn't happen, but it did. So I had to fix that. But yeah, so I just need to make them fire like instead of all at once, to be technical with how you do it. Yeah. Right. Okay. So what I'm working on right now is just getting the movement script working. So I've got this Mortar Train AI, which is a movement controller for the train. Yeah, Roy decided he wanted to make everything that was. Sorry, this is from Jerry saying he likes the rusty carriage a lot. Roy decided he wanted to make everything very rusty if it was owned by the sort of bandit faction, right? Okay, so there's these tin cannon enemies, and multiple different factions have these things, but the ones that belong to the bandits are all rusty, and then like the ones that aren't are like clean and nice looking. He wants to give them sparkles. Like, I don't know about that, but whatever. He's weird, so. Right. Okay. So right now, what I've got this doing. No. He says he's great, not weird. Well, you're great and weird. Your weirdness is part of your greatness. Um, okay, so what I've been doing right now is I'm just getting this set up so that I can have it move between locations. So Roy will be able to specify sort of a range. So it's going to kind of go across the screen, and then it's going to move back and forth slowly. So like kind of go to one spot, stay for a minute, then move back a little bit, stay for a minute, and it's going to randomize where it moves to and how long it stays there within a specified range. So I'm setting up these variables that are going to be exposed to the inspector so that Roy can change these ranges really easily and not have to get into the code to do it. And right now I've got change position saying whether it's going forward or backward. If it goes forward, it's going to turn on its nitro, so the particles will be a different color. But yeah, and then when it arrives at the target, I'll get a call back. It'll start the pause. If it is paused, it will check whether it should restart. So if it is paused, if it is not moving, and the time is greater than or equal to pause start time plus pause duration. This pause duration will be different each time. It's going to be calculated whenever it stops. And it will calculate it on this range. So this is basically saying if it is ready to start moving again, then we will we will change position, and just the opposite of if we were forward, we'll go not forward. So that's actually almost everything. The only other thing we need is when this gets exit. So I've added a new thing. This is brand new as well. So I've added this exit handler, which will be used by my queue system. So everything in a level is a queue. CUE, as in a stage queue. So actors have a queue to go on stage, or we have a queue to change the lights. So I use a stage metaphor to design the level system for Armoured Engines. And everything that comes onto the screen during a level is triggered by a queue. All the graphics, all the audio, any effects that happen, and each enemy. So normally when things exit, they have some way of exiting. So things can be told to exit at a specific time. An exit meaning different things for each thing, each type of queue. And what I've added today is an exit handler for custom exit logic. So for example, not every enemy might have a specific way of exiting. It might just want to be turned off. Right? But this enemy does, and it needs to be very specific to the enemy, so it can't be built into the enemy queue because that's really generic for all enemies. So I've added this exit handler, which is an interface, and what will happen is whenever it's time to exit, the queue will check the object it's created and say, hey, does it have an exit handler? If it does, I'm going to let it handle this exit, and then I'll turn it off. So it allows for custom logic whenever the enemy is exiting. In this case, for our mortar train, that custom logic is going to be exploding, right? Okay, so what it's going to be is it's going to be a animation that Roy is working on right now, where the train will be going along wherever it happens to be on the screen. A rock will come in from the other side, hit the train, and it will explode. So that is going to be a interface method. I think it's going to have to be an interface method, so it will need to be public. So let me just create a new region, because I need my code to be tidy. I will be unhappy. All right, so we're going to have a public method, an ooblik method, a public method, exit. Okay, and it has an IEnumerator return type, which means it's a coroutine. So what we want there is we want so what we need to do at the start of this exit method is to trigger. Do I have it on here? No, I'm going to add it. It's going to trigger an animator. Yeah, I'm very. Jerry says my code is very organized looking indeed. Yes, I'm a bit anal about it actually, more than I should be. I really have to hold myself back during things like game jams. For big projects like this, I can kind of accept it because it makes it a little easier to look things up later and find things. But for game jams, you really can't be this organized. It takes too much time. Should I just call it animator? I will for now. Okay, so our animator, it's going to need to have some kind of trigger or boolean. For now, we'll just make it a trigger. I'm just going to call it exit, okay, for now. And in fact, that might be something that I could just have built in. But no, for now, we'll just have an animator. We'll call it exit. And but then we need to wait till it's done, because that's what this enumerator means. It's expecting us to not actually finish this function until this is done animating and ready to be turned off. So it is a convention of sorts, actually, and it's fine. You can ask as many questions as you want. I really don't mind. Yeah, so that way of commenting, some people do like lines, like dashes instead. Some people do literally just loads of backslashes. But it is common to have some kind of divisor, because it really helps break up the function so that you can really easily see where one function starts and another one end. One ends, another one begins. I can speak. But yeah, so it is very useful. And then this region stuff, this is a C# thing, but it's quite nice because so I have this region for all these methods that are specifically inherited from mono behavior. I can just fold that and unfold it, which is really useful too. But it's also completely not necessary. Like, you don't have to use those. They're all completely optional. It's just my way of doing things. Right, okay, so now I just need to wait for this to end. So I think what I'll do is so there's a few things I could do here. My animation system that I've got right, okay, so say I wanted to put the animator was going to be on this mover. I don't know where it'll actually be. Yeah, I'm waiting. Roy's working on that right now. It's a little bit dangerous what we're doing because we're both working on the same object at the same time. I'm hoping that everything is going to merge okay, but if not, I'll just have to deal with it. Right, but okay, so I have a animation. All right, so I have an animation event callback. So what this would do is that animation could just trigger a callback, and then something else could sign up for this, and it could know whenever it finishes. That's probably the easiest way to do this, to be honest. So it's a little bit annoying, though, because that would require a separate callback function and like a variable that gets passed between, and then this checks that variable. That's going to be a pain in the ass. Let's not do that. So what I'm probably gonna do, I'm so illiterate in the Twitch like chat faces. I have to click on them. What does this mean? Oh, bless. Okay, okay. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what it is. Oh gosh. I'm clicking on too many things at once. It's making me very confused. But yes, he does look like he's praying. No, Roy is he's doing okay. I see flying parts, so it looks like something's happening back there. I really want to set up duo streaming so that you can see what he's doing, and he has a face cam and he's talking and stuff at the same time. But I think it's doable. I've been looking into it, but it's just gonna take a little bit of effort that I don't want to deal with right now. So. What I could do that would be pretty simple would be to have him actually stream on his account, and then I could be watching his stream on my computer, capture the video into OBS, and then stream it again. But there'll be a significant time delay, and it might set my computer on fire. So I haven't decided to do that yet. But I think there's going to be a better way because we're on the same network, obviously, and we should be able to more easily access each other's video in that way. So, and hopefully be less time delay then. Right, hold on. I'm getting notifications. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anyone talking to me. But I think it's just people going, "Yay, you're streaming. Good job." Right, okay. So, what was I doing? Okay, so I'm trying to find out exit, right? Okay, so, let's see. So I want to get the current state of the animator, and if it is exiting, okay, I might have to change this when I find out what Roy is actually calling his animator states, right? Okay, but for now, we're just going to call it that. And then, oops, I've upset this. Okay, so yield return null in a coroutine means just wait a frame. And then at the end, we'll just break. So basically what this will do is just constantly loop each frame while we're in the exiting state, and as soon as we leave the exiting state, then we can break and go back out to, we'll return from this exit function back to the calling function, which will be waiting for this to return, and then that calling function, after that exits, it will then set the object to inactive and be finished. So beautiful coroutines. I love them. They're amazing. Right, okay, so I think that's pretty much everything. So now we need to actually add this Mortar train AI. We got loads of stuff here, so let's find our nitro, exhaust, mover. Okay, pause duration, we'll say between 1 and 3 seconds. Okay, the mover, we'll say it moves at a speed. I don't know how fast this will be. We'll say a speed of 5. It might be way not a good speed. We're going to do, so easing functions just make the movement look nicer than just linear. So we're going to do quad ease now. It's much better than linear. Alright, back range. So let's just see, where do we want this? So the farthest back, oops, whoa, ooh, gosh, what have I done? Let's not do that. The farthest back we want this is maybe here, and that's at negative 2.28, so. And then maybe here. Yeah, there's the middle. Alright, negative 0.74. And then the front, the farthest back we maybe want the front is like, okay, well the farthest forward, let's do that first. Okay, the farthest forward we want it is there, which is 8.13. And the farthest back, so the other one was there. You know, I think we could probably go here. So that, let's just do 5. Okay, so now what should happen is this will start coming in. It will pick a point between 5 and 8.13. Okay, and then it will stop for between 1 and 3 seconds. Then it will go to a point between negative 2.28 and negative 0.74, and then it will stop again for 1.3 seconds, and then it will just continue to do that until it is told to exit. And when it is told to exit, then it will play the animation, which it doesn't exist yet, and then it will exit. So, yay. Now, it looks like I've got an error here, so let's see what this error is. No overload method for get current animator state info. Oh, okay. So I've got a problem. This is saying it needs a layer. Well, the default layer is 0, so we're just gonna put 0 in. Okay, cool. That fixes that. So now I'm gonna apply my prefab because I made a bunch of changes. And that should be fine. Oh, I don't need this callback. I decided not to do it that way. Right, okay. Now, is this on by default, Nitro? Well, it doesn't really matter, does it? But I will maybe... That plays on awake. That does not. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, because that's what we want. So we want the nitro particles to play when it starts. So basically, it's gonna do the nitro smoke, this like glowing red smoke. Don't mind their Z fighting. It's fine. It's fine. It'll do the nitro smoke when it's moving forward and when it's like keeping pace at the front, and when it's moving backwards or keeping pace at the back, it'll use the dark. Oh, someone's at the door, Roy. Can you get it? Roy, someone's at the door. Can you get it? Hurry. They've been there for a little while. Oh no. Who was it? Who was it? There's some mystery person. Oh dear. Anyway, I'm glad you like the particles, Jerry. Got a little distracted there. I don't know what's going on. I should probably have just leapt to my feet and dealt with it. I looked over trying to tell Roy that there was someone at the door, and he's just sitting here playing with his pen, like rolling it over the desk. I'm like, Roy! There's someone at the door! Someone's here. Oh, I bet it's our delivery. It's our delivery. I think it's our delivery. Hey, is it our shelf? Yay, it's a shelf. So we are setting up a recording studio, a recording sound booth in our closet, and we're getting a shelf that's gonna fold down so you can sit in there. This little shelf, laptop, microphone. Oh, and there's a cat coming behind me. I'm not good at my TV side. I don't know which side is which looking at this. Yeah. Right, okay. So, anyway, so shelf! Yay, shelf! Yes, exactly. Fantastic. Yay. Okay, so, right. Nitro, that's us working. Alright, so, No, this is the how. You saw my other stream. I'm just like this, dude. Right, okay. Will this just work if I just it went really, really fast? That's way too fast. Oh dear. It is working though. There's a lot of mortars. There's really they're unpleasant. What's happening right now? But okay, so that's fine. So it's too fast though. We need to slow it down. Okay, so that's easy. We'll just like maybe 3. Um, I know it was probably hard to see. I'm gonna make this bigger so you can actually see this happening. But it seems to be working. Here comes the mortars. Still seems a little bit, maybe a little bit fast. I don't know. Oh my god, those mortars are they're really not nice. This is a mean enemy, Roy. I think these mortar shells need to be smaller. They look a little funny. Right, okay, this is destroying my train. Right, okay. So that's fine. That's working. So, I think it's still too fast though. Let's just make it like 2, maybe even 1.5. Like it doesn't need to move quickly. Yeah, I think that's actually fast enough. I don't understand why these mortars are running into each other. I also don't understand why that enemy just died. What just happened? I don't even know. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good speed it's at now. All right. So okay. So where are we at here? I've got All right. So this is my beautiful hack and plan uh project planning thing. So more train comes in. Woo! Okay, it goes back and forth. Yeah. Okay, doesn't hit run explode yet. And okay, I'm gonna leave that one for the moment because I'm kind of waiting on Roy for that. I'm gonna see if I can get these mortars not firing all at once. But first, I think we'll commit what we got. So we save everything. Save, save, save. Why do I have a star? Save all the things. Save project, save scenes. Don't be dumb. Okay, and all right. So here we got our framework. This is my move to target. What have I done? I swear I added more things than this to the framework. I guess not. Okay, so all I did was just made a convenient uh, is moving property. Added is moving property exposing moving variable. Wah, wah. Okay, so that was just for convenience, because technically has target already did that, but it's more clear when you're trying to say, well, is it moving or not? Okay, so then, I could have done also, let me just check, view, refresh. Was there anything else? No. There's definitely new stuff here. Don't lie to me. Okay. Right. Nope. Yep. Um, yep. And yep. Okay, so... what I try to do is always, reference my task number in my version control commit so that it's clear what the crap I was doing later when I want to try to figure out. So, exit handler interface for use with queue system. Enemy queue attempt to exit using exit handler before brute force exit via disabling object. And then I added the mortar train. Mortar train AI, movement, and exit. Work in progress. Right, okay. And then push. There we go. Go. Right. Sorry, I know that's not the most riveting part of game dev. Well, let's just watch Sarah commit things on version control. Woo! Right, okay. Well, okay, so Jerry, I'll just cover briefly what all this crap is that I just was using. Uh, this, uh, this is a thing called version control. This particular program is called Source Tree, but there's lots of different ones. And all it does is, you know how when you're working on a project and you have like project dash one, project dash version 2, project dash final really, you know, this replaces that. So it just every time you do a little chunk of work, you do a commit, and it saves the version of your project before and after that commit. So if later you go, oh crap, that totally fucked everything up, I gotta go fix it, you can go and find the exact change you made and go back to the previous version. Oh, how did I have it before? It was fine then. You can go back to it easily, and it's searchable, and it's fantastic. The other thing that it does is it lets you work with other people and merge the changes together. So right now Roy's working on the same prefab as I was, the mortar train. But because it's saved in a text file, it can actually figure out what I changed, what he changed, and combine them. Without having to do that manually most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't work very well, but it's still a lot better than nothing. So it's a very important tool for programming, but it only becomes important for larger projects. For what you're working on, you won't be seeing this yet. The other thing I'm using here, this is a project planning tool. So it actually has something to do with programming specifically, but it's geared for organizing projects, and specifically game dev projects. So this is my current task on the left here. This is subtasks within that. It's a list that I've made. And this is the information about this design element of the game in our game design document. And they let you link between them, which is why this is so useful for game design, because you can have your full game design document set out in a sort of a wiki format, and then have your tasks linked to specific game design portions, and you can actually go to that game design element and actually see all the tasks associated with it, and vice versa. So say I'm working on this mortar train, but Roy has all the information about how a mortar train works. Here, I can just quickly click on something in my task that says, okay, where's the design element associated with it, and go to it. The actual task board it will probably look familiar to you because I think you probably know about Trello. It's a little similar. It's basically like this Kanban board where you've got planned, in progress, testing, and completed. If you pay for the paid version of this, you actually get to customize these, and I would like that, but I'm cheap right now. I don't have money. I can't afford it. But I really like this tool. I really recommend it. And what I'm using right now is completely free. You can organize your tasks into milestones. So I've got these different demo milestones here. I've got tasks here, and I can actually go between like different milestones. I can move things around. I have finished milestones. You've got different categories of tasks. You can assign them to different people. You can say the different importance and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And in terms of time management, it actually has some great stuff too. Like you can record how long you've taken on tasks and estimate how long the task will take, and you can get burned down charts and stuff like that. The only thing another thing I really wish I had that's in the paid version is it has a direct time tracker, so you can like click starting time on this task and then stop it when you're done. For now, what I use instead is this, which is called Toggle. And I use that for time tracking, and then I manually input the amount of time I've spent on each thing into Hack and Plan. So it's a little bit of a faff because of that, but it's still better than nothing. I mean, it's free. All of this is free, so I can't complain too much. And I really can't recommend Hack and Plan enough. It's really a great tool, and the dev's really responsive. I've come to him with bugs before, and he's fixed them immediately. I've come to him with like, oh, this would be really really useful for me in my use case, and he's added it like the next week. So, um, it's a really, really good tool. And this is our game design document. So it's all hierarchical and organized and amazing. You can have, let's see if I can find one with a attachment. You can attach like pictures and stuff to these. It's just using markup languages, so you can, you know, format things. Let's see if I can find, here's the enemies. And if I go to the Hydra, yeah, it's got an attachment of how the Hydra should look. That was done for our sound person so that she could match up sounds to the animation and stuff like that. And then you can link to different parts of it as well. So yeah, basically it's amazing. I'll stop faffing around with this and actually get back to work. But none of that is like specific, you know, programming tools. What I'm using to program, well, I've got Unity is my engine and sort of development environment, and within that I've got references to scripts. So like this is a script that's attached to this game object right here, and then whenever I actually go to edit the script, I've got it in mono develop here, and this is more like what you would have seen with your coding experience, but obviously it's probably rather large comparatively because it's this massive project. So alright, so what I need to do now is get these mortars firing not all at once, because right now they're firing all at once and it's just not right. It's not what we want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get all these mortars. There's just 3 of them? No, there's more than 3 of them. There's 4 of them. Okay, so we're gonna go to the mortars, we're gonna go to their weapons, and we're gonna turn off their auto fire. And what I want to do is have in my, oh, you can't see this, sorry. In my AI, for the mortar train, if I can remember how to type, my mind just like exited my head at that moment. We're going to have weapons, and we're going to have an array of them, and they're going to be mortars. Okay, so this is an array of mortars. It's going to be assigned. So what I've done here is I've put that up here as a serialized thing, which means it's going to show up on as a field here. And so I can add each of these mortars to the list. And now I have hold of them. So now whenever I go into here, I'll have hold of those mortars and I can do stuff with them. And what I'm going to do is on disable, we're going to loop through them. And we're going to say mortar, auto fire. This is just in case we do decide to recycle this object. We're going to set them back to auto firing, not at all. And then what we're going to do is we are going to have a new method, and it's going to be turn on mortar fire. But it's not going to be void, it's going to be an enumerator. This is going to be a coroutine. So the other thing I want to add up here is mortar fire delay. So this is how long, how much distant, like time between each one of these fires. So it's not how much time between the firing of an individual one, it's more like the spacing. I'm maybe not being very clear. Maybe delay isn't the right term. Spacing. Okay, we'll call it spacing. So, right, okay, float start time equals time dot time. I'm so lazy. You know what, guys? I don't even understand my laziness. Because I can't even be bothered to rewrite that. I just had to go copy it. Okay. Alright, so mortar, So, if... Oh, dear God. That's not what I wanted. If time is greater than or equal to mortar fire spacing plus, or maybe it'd be better to say start time plus mortar fire spacing. Or maybe I should say while, well, this is better. While time is less than. So while we have not gotten past the time we want to be at, we are going to... Actually, what the crap am I actually doing? I don't even understand why I'm doing this. Sometimes I don't even know, guys. I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, so this is much easier if I do it this way. So what I'm going to do is mortars auto fire equals true. So this is basically turning it on, right? Okay, and then I can just do yield return new wait for seconds. I wait for seconds, okay, and then mortar fire spacing. I don't need to do any of this management myself. So right, okay, just to clarify what this is. I'm going through the mortars. I'm going to go to the first one. I'm going to turn it on. And then I'm going to wait for the number of seconds I've specified in mortar fire spacing. Then I'm going to go to the next one, turn it on, wait again, and so on until I get to the end of the mortar array. And then I'm done. So, and then I should do yield return or yield break. This is not necessary, but I like to do it anyway. Okay, so, right, that's much better than what I was doing. Okay, so magic. This should work. This should be done already now. So if I go back, now all I need to do is specify... Oh, I'm being spoken to. What is I? That is okay. Are you asking what square bracket I square bracket means? I'm gonna have to wait because I know there's a delay in the stream. My phone is going dong, dong, dong. Okay. So, square bracket I square bracket. Okay. So square bracket is called a subscript operator. That aside. What that's doing is saying the mortars, this mortars variable, m_mortars, that's an array. What I'm saying is, in that array, go to the ith position, okay? So take I, whatever number is in there, go to that position in the array, all right? So if I is 0, that's going to go to the first element of the array, and it's going to go to that, and it's going to turn auto fire to true. If I is 1, it's going to go to the second element in the array, and it's going to go there, and it's going to turn auto fire to true, and so on and so on. So what this for loop is doing is it's saying starting at 0 and going all the way up until the length of the array minus 1. So that's basically going through the entire array. Do this for each one of the elements in the array, and it's just walking through the array and doing that for each one. So those square brackets just means go to this position in the array. Hopefully that makes some sense. Right, okay, so I think this is good. Let's see. We don't have any errors. We've got mortar fire spacing. Let's just put them at a spacing of 1 for now, so that'll be 1 second between. Though I think we want it lower. Now let's try 5. Okay, so whoop. Let's just see what happens. I don't know if this is gonna work. It's not working because I didn't actually trigger it. Okay, I'm good at this. So I made that function, and it's beautiful. I didn't actually call the function, so that it's not gonna work. All right, so because it's a coroutine, I have to use start coroutine instead of just calling the function, and it's gonna be what do they call this thing? Turn on mortar fire. Okay. Not triggered, indeed. It was unfortunately not triggered. All right. Okay. No! No! You stupid mortars! That that's not what you're supposed to do. Okay. That didn't work. Let's just try a big number. This is not gonna work still, but I'm just what's going on? Why is it I totally expected this to work. Why? Uh, oh, that one. What the? What? 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 What is going on? Oh dear. What on earth is going on? Why? Did I did I make a mistake? You're just having a spirited go. That's true. Did I make a mistake here? Okay, so that's one, two. No, this is right. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna play it again. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. There's one thing which is not working at all, but why is one of them working? I don't understand. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. What's going on here? I don't know what's happening. Why? Why? Uh. All right, we're gonna just go the good old logs. All right, oops. We got timestamp. We got what mortar we're turning on. Let's just see. Let's just see what's happening, because maybe there's something underlying here that I don't understand. That is entirely possible. Right, what? Okay, so, right, okay, so I think this might have something to do with recharge, potentially. Alright, what's happening here? Right. Right, okay. Maybe I should approach this differently. So I think what's happening is they're recharging, and so they're firing right away. So if I instead, so they start, okay, so if I instead, so even though they weren't told to fire before, once they're told that they're ready to fire, they fire immediately because they're already charged. Um, yeah, okay. So the longer fire time was kind of hiding that fact. All right, so if instead of turning off auto fire, so if I go back to all these weapons, and instead of turning off auto fire, if I turn off auto recharge, I think this should make the weapon not fire, which is what I want. Just checking. It shouldn't fire at all. Okay, so that's what I think I'm actually going to do. So I'm going to change it. So, where's my mortar train? So I'm going to change this from being weapons to weapon recharge. Okay. Go to our mortars, and instead of auto fire, we're going to do auto recharge. Okay, I don't think I actually have exposed auto recharge. So let's do that. So, where's I'm so lazy. I don't understand how I get anything done with how lazy I am, because I can't even be bothered to write this. Okay. Um, right. Okay. So auto recharge now we're going to use instead. And then that's also going to happen down here. So otherwise this should be identical. I'm going to just comment this out because I don't think we need it anymore. I think this should work now. Oh, the only thing... Thanks, Jerry. Jerry says, I think that lazy is the last of the things you are. Well, I'm lazy in some ways, that's for sure. So, can I? No, I can't do this in a cheaty way, unfortunately. I've got to just manually. Actually, I could do this in a cheaty way. Oh, how lazy can I be? Let's see. Okay, if I lock that, and then I just put this back to 0, and then I go, and go, fantastic. All at once. Okay, turn that back off. Beautiful. Oh, one of them. Only one of them's firing. What's happening? Oh, why'd only one fire? Why is only one firing? Why is this happening? Okay. Are the rest not... Did I break them? Okay, so hold on. No, they should be working. Why? Okay, let's just turn... I was too optimistic. I was far too optimistic. Let's turn the debug log back on. And hold on, because I do not want this to be giant. Can we not do that? Yeah, there we go. Alright. So, what did we... We turned on the other ones, supposedly. Let's just see what their status is, alright? So this auto fire. It's supposed to be turned on. Right, okay. Do I need to... I think I need to... Yeah. What is this? What? Right, okay. Oh god. I've got Lua on the brain. Just try to type then. Okay. So, I think the problem is it's not triggering the recharge starting. When is this called? Okay, can I just find references to this? Alright, so... It's called on reset only. Thank you for following. Varnsick. Varnsick. Okay. Right. So oh, fired calls reset. Okay. Oh gosh. It's right in front of my face. All right, so that's fine. So this is so the problem was that this was never getting its start recharging. Tactics Tim. That's cooler than Varnsick. Varnsick sounds like you got sick behind a barn or something. I kind of hoped he was, since he was well, I just assumed because you said your name that he was a friend of yours. Okay, so right, that was a problem. So it wasn't recharging. So now I've said if whenever I turn auto recharge on, if I was setting it to true, then I should start the recharging process. Says my cat. Okay, I think that's fine. So then, if I play, it might work. I don't know. Let's find out. Sexy! They all blew each other up, though. That's not helping. Why? Why are they blowing each other up? I need to figure this out. All right, mortar projectile. What are you doing? It's all right, Tactics Tim. Tactics Tim was going for an Eastern European name. He was just taking the mick out of Jerry. Sorry for bringing it to your channel. You don't need to apologize for ever bringing taking the mick to my channel. I don't mind. This is a very mick taking channel. All right, so let's see. Projectile. So why are you blowing yourself up, man? That's just not on. Okay, so let's get this guy out here and see what's going on. So, right, so you're defense, you are enemy, you are mid-ground, you're projectile. Right, mid-ground. Is that right? Defense is turned off. Alright, and weapon, type filter, train, mid-ground projectile. You shouldn't be able to target, you should not be able to target enemies. So what is going on? I don't get it. Okay. Alright, let's see. Let's just see this happen. I'm going to see if I can pause it and find these projectiles. Okay, can I see what these are doing? Oh, I can't. What? Unity. Why do you do this to me? So I can't, like, get into these. I can only look at their top half, right? The top level at this point. Oh no, here's the defenses. Okay, so enemy mid-ground, blah blah blah, and here's the weapons. Type filter, train mid-ground. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep this clicked, see if anything changes here. No. They should not be doing that. Why'd that happen? Okay. So the difference is defense got turned on at that point. It wasn't on before. But it shouldn't be targetable by themselves because they can only target trains, and it's the train, and it's an enemy. So basically, the way this should work is that unless the targeting types have all of these types, so enemy, mid-ground, and projectile, it shouldn't be able to target it. It's not some, it's all. And these weapons can only target, where'd it go? Train, mid-ground, projectile. They can't target enemy. So they shouldn't be able to target them. Something's going wrong. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Okay, so this is important to fix. So, can be targeted by contains. Oh, bit flags. Okay. So this is saying after ANDing these, the result should be this. And that would indicate that every place on this flag val where there's a 1, there would also have to be a 1 on keys val. Meaning that it has to be completely contained in keys val. So contains should be correct. So can be targeted by means targetability must contain everything that is in the target status mask. When is target status, when is target status mask assigned? Is it possible that this is not filled in at this point? Okay, on reset, it's getting filled in. Right, when is reset called? Enable. So that should be fine. Or not. It should be fine, because it should be enabled when it turns on. Alright, I don't understand. I don't understand this. I don't get it. I don't get it. My hair is looking really funny. It's got these headphones on. It looks bizarre. Okay. This is a problem. This is a problem I don't know how to fix right away. Right, okay. I have to keep an eye on the time because I actually have to go get a prescription today. And it's looking dreich outside, which is a Scottish word for really cloudy and wet and gross. So yeah, dreich. I'm gonna go at 4, so I still got a while. Which means I have to sit here and try to figure this out. And y'all can laugh at me and go, oh, but why can't she figure this out? It's not that hard. This system was working fine. I don't understand why it's suddenly broken. I have to assume it's probably only broken for this one weapon. So is there something different about Mortar? Because in Mortar projectile AI, this used to go through and change the target mask. I don't think it does anymore, but I'm going to check and see what it's doing, because I don't trust it. Also, I got stuff in my eye, but I don't appreciate that. Alright, so, not Mortar Train. Oh, it's kind of confusing. Mortar Projectile. Okay, so, sorting layer. Do anything to the target. Nothing with target. I don't think it does it anymore. It just enables the defense. It just enables and disables the defense. So it's something to do with this defense getting enabled and disabled, and that way it's not used to that happening. See, it's never a problem before, because these mortars never fired in a way that caused them to collide with each other on any other level until now. Joy. Joy. Okay, so, let's see. Gotta figure this out. Pardon me. Right, let me just turn off everything else. Okay, so we don't need... What have we got? If I press play, do we have anything on the train that we care about? No, train's fine. So... Oh, no, train's not so fine. Let me just get rid of some stuff. Okay, so... What are we doing here? We're using the test profile. Let's just turn off... Do we have a cannon? Do we have a cannon? We don't have a cannon. We're not using this profile. This is wrong. That can't be right. Because we don't... Oh, no, that's an item. Alright, so what we actually have on our train is we've got a Tesla coil. We don't want Tesla coil. No Tesla coil. So now... No Tesla coil. Perfect. Fine. Now... can we go to the level? Let's just turn off all of these jerks. Okay. Well, I don't think the AI, the the Tesla coil's AOE effect. I cannot speak. AOE effect. I'm saying effect twice, Jerry. I don't think the Tesla coil's AOE is causing the problem. But it will be like going off all the time. So if I try to put any logging or like try to debug this, it's gonna be difficult. So I'm just turning off the Tesla coil for now, and we'll see what happens. Actually, we'll go ahead and just see now with everything turned off if this still occurs, but I expect it definitely will. Because the Tesla coil's AoE is quite a lot smaller than these. I don't think that's... Yeah, see, they're running into each other. It's like as soon as... what's happening is as soon as one of them starts coming back down, it's immediately getting hit by the one behind it. So... It almost seems as if maybe... I don't think it's only happening in that fraction of a second, though. I think it's happening... It can happen afterwards. Something is going on where the ones in the background, specifically, are hitting the ones in the foreground. And I do not understand why. So, okay. But now we can maybe get some... We can maybe get some information here. So first of all, can be gone now because we got the firing working correctly. We just need to figure out what's going on with this bug because this is a bad bug, a very bad bug. It's a worrisome bug. But I do think it's because these Teslas are being like if I were to change this such that these projectiles, if their defense was on by default, like if I were to change this, I'm wondering if this is going to fix the problem. I don't think it will, actually, because I think it's going to turn them off when it spawns them. Alright, these ones off. Let me click on you, you jerk. That's off. I think they're still going to run into each other. Yeah, they do. Okay, what if I change... I'm just experimenting here to try to find out if this is the actual problem. Okay, so I've just turned off any... I'm not touching that defense. So now it should be just... as it is. This is just a mortar in the middle of the screen there. Don't worry about that. Right, okay. Good. That's good. That's as I expected. So what's happening is... it's something to do with the defense getting turned on and off dynamically. So, that gives me direction. That's fine. I'm going to do that back, put that back the way it was, and put this back the way it was. Can you just do what I want? Thank you. So something's going on. So it's like it's, I think the target mask is not anything. I think that's the problem. So, this bit, let's see, what I'm going to do is where it fires, because we shouldn't be having too many things fire here. What I'm going to do, let's see. For int I equals 0, I less than targets dot count plus I. Firing at target dot name targets I dot name with mask targets I dot mask. Yeah. Let me check something because this is going to be illegible. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, good. Flags. Okay, so this should work. Let's see. So what I'm hoping to have here is for it to tell me what what it's firing at. So yeah, defense mask, none. Okay, so for some reason, the target mask, targetable mask on that projectile is none, which means it can be hit by anything, which is not correct. So that's fine. It's okay. We just need to figure out why that's happening. So we've got direction to go with here. Right, let's get rid of this because, well, we'll just comment it out for now, but I don't want to be spamming logs. Okay. Pardon me. Goodness. Sorry. 1 second, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm just checking something. Don't mind. Alright, that's fine. Okay. So, where was I? Right, okay. So, something is happening in the defenses. I believe this is being turned on and it's not hitting what we want. So reset is meant to go through the target status list, which should never be changed, and add flags to the target status mask there. And is there any other place where this is changed? Okay, so let's see about this. No. Not set anywhere. Which means we haven't hit reset. Not lack of coffee. That's very important. I have my Dr. Pepper instead, but I understand the need for caffeine. Which I am now almost in an out of Dr. Pepper situation. Which is a horrible, horrible thing. Right, okay. Okay, so I think that what is happening is that this target status mask is set to 0, to none at the beginning, and it's not hit reset somehow. It's just not got to this yet by the time where this happens. But it should hit it on enable. So it's somehow getting hit before it's been enabled. Let me try something. If the defense is not enabled, well, I could probably just do not enabled. Alright, if the defense is not enabled, it should not be targeted. I think it's being targeted before it's actually been enabled. I don't know for sure, because I do think this was happening. I'm really confused by this, but let's just see if this fixes anything. So, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, yes! Okay, and now let's see, does it actually hit these? Okay, and then the other question is, can I... Yes! Alright, I think that fixed it. That seems a little wrong, though. These are just, like, piercing. Oh, no, they're not. Okay. It just looked like they were. It's just a lot of them, that's all. Alright, cool. Success. Fixed. Everything is wonderful. Alright, so somehow it was getting targeted before it was enabled. This will fix that. I'm still not entirely sure that's the best way to do that. But it's alright. It's fine. Okay. So, what that means, where are we at? Okay, so, oh, I've gone away from our actual task. So we go back to our mortar train. We have now done mortars fire in sequence, not all at once. I don't know exactly how fast they're meant to fire. Roy can fiddle with that. That's his bag, baby. Not my bag. So that's fine. I'm gonna save this all up into his house. Make sure this is applied. Save scenes, because it's being a butthole and not doing that itself. Do I have anything here? I don't think I do. No. Alright, so... so have I... No. I'm not... I think it's okay. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do all this. Okay, so... what I have done here... we've been working on... no, that's not right. Let's get the name here. Yeah, I got it, Jerry. I did it. It's working. Do you want to see? I'll show you. They're not blowing each other up anymore. Yay. And then I can like, no. Goodbye. My OP rocks. I think these rocks are too strong. Or they're really good against mortars, we'll say that. It was a mildly complicated thing. So I'll show you. It was basically, they were getting targeted before they were getting enabled. And when they weren't enabled, they didn't have their target mask set properly, so anything could target them. So all I did was I added, in the can be targeted by check. It checks if it's dead, and if it's not enabled. And if either of those things are true, then it gives a return false. It can't be targeted if it's not enabled. And that will avoid that. I feel like there might be a more subtle and underlying bug in there that I'm just kind of covering up with this code, but oh well. For now. For now, my answer is oh well. May need to do some more delving later into that, but... right. So, where was I? Alright, so we got mortar implementation. This is almost done. Alright, so now I only need what my husband's working on. How is that going, the animation? Husband. How's the animation going? Oh, jeez. He's got all these components bouncing all over the screen. Alright, cool. Keep in mind that it will have had forward... Well, no, I should... No, I think you're right. I think you're right in how that would look. No, you're good. You're good. He's good. He's keeping all this physics in his brain. I don't even know what he's doing. Alright, so good. So that's coming along. I'm going to have to pause my work on this, though, because I need his stuff before I can do that last little bit. But I've already put the code in for it, which means I should be able to just hook it up to what he's got, and it should just work. That never happens, but theoretically, it'll be easy. Anyways, what have we done here? So, removed excess enemies from test level. Removed Tesla coil from test profile. Test scene update. I've been spoken to. Hold on. Alright, Jerry. Thank you so much for talking to me, because it's a lot more fun doing these streams when there's somebody to talk to. So I appreciate it very much. And have a great dinner. Alright, so let's see. Testing update. Let's see. What have we got here? So my mortar train, I added. Okay, so mortar train now fires porters mortars in series rather than all at once. Fixed bug in mortars or in defense, causing mortars to collide with each other. Target mask was not initialized while defense was not enabled, but defense could still be targeted. Okay. And I think that's... Oh, and then exposed auto recharge bool property for weapon recharge. Okay. Fantabulous. Done. Right. Okay. Now I gotta do something else. What can I do? Bong! Well, it's just my Slack bot is informing me that someone has committed to our version control. Spoiler, it was me. Alright. Anyway. Right, okay. So... what I can do... I can work on one of these other things. So how about batteries? Batteries sounds fun. So let's work on batteries. Okay. I got a lot of crap here that doesn't need to be here. I'm going to keep... No, we don't need any of this. Go away. Go away. I'll keep this one out here for now. Okay. Camera UI. That's helping me. Okay. Though when I do this, then there'll be two of them. Oh, it's going to get upset. No, it's not. It's happy. Oh, beauteous. Okay. Anyway. Right, okay. Meow! Meow! Where'd you go? She's over there. My cat is very talkative. It's gonna be a problem whenever Roy starts doing his voice recordings. She's gonna be talking and it's like meow meow. I'm like, not talking to you, Willow. You can stop meowing. You really can stop. You guys probably can't hear that. I discovered listening to my stream later that this mic is very like only picks up what's like right here. So you probably can't hear her meowing, but she's going meow. So all right, so let's see here. So let's get some cargo out here. Cargo. So we got batteries. Batteries, man. And let's get the coal out. That's the default. Okay. So coal is our default. Move it over here. Batteries, we've got... batteries. Okay, so these are like old, man. Look at them. They don't even have... I'm not sure that's going to work. Okay, so what if I got... So if I get a carriage... Come on, mouse. Don't be lame. If I get a carriage out here and if I duplicate these batteries and I put them inside this carriage... Is that gonna work? Cart, I need a cart. Alright, well that looks okay, actually. That doesn't look bad. That looks okay, actually. It's not piled quite as high as the coal is, but that looks okay. Alright, so let's just get that out of here for now. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Alright, so what have we got here? We need to make some changes. So this is going to be called CG batteries objects open. CG batteries objects boxcar. Okay, and then inside here, what have we got? What are we supposed to have? All right, so we need to have this batteries needs to be everywhere. Okay. Okay. This is Gonzo. All right. This has got aim. Okay, so maybe just copy this. Okay. Batteries. And then probably we don't want that to be way over there though. Okay, yeah. And then this needs to be CG batteries station. Right, gotcha. And then in here, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just need to make this. See, I'm very, very like particular about how everything is named. Otherwise, I get confused. And it's really annoying too because, like, if this is not named, even if its parent is specifically named and its child is not specifically named, then if you need to like print the name of the child, you won't know what object it is. So that's why I go down through here and name these all. So alright, so right now we're using the wrong projectile because we use coal projectile. We need the battery projectile, which doesn't exist yet. So we're going to just copy the coal projectile for now. Coal weapon. That's not what I wanted to copy. Coal projectile. We're gonna bring it out here. We're gonna call it batteries, and we're gonna throw it in here. All right, so now we got batteries projectile. We gotta go copy this down through here. Come on, copy. Do what I want. Okay. Right. But this is not what we want. So we want the batteries sprite, which is this one. And that just collider is not gonna, that's not gonna work. So let's add a box collider. Oops, let's add a box collider 2D. Thank you. And get rid of this circle collider 2D. And let's see, this box collider. Perfect, that's exactly the size we want. I'm gonna apply that. So now we've got a battery. Okay, so now we're past the point of where I know what I'm doing, so I need to go look up what Roy wants these batteries to do, and hopefully he has described this in great detail, and if not, I'm going to have to bother him. And even if he has, I might still bother him because sometimes he's changed his mind since he wrote this, but hasn't updated it. Okay, throw his battery. On contact with enemy, releases a chain of lightning that strikes any target near the initial target and targets near them. No chain lightning can strike the same enemy twice. Okay, so this is going to be a lot of new behavior for our weapon systems. This might take a little while to implement. We're going to get it done today, but we'll see. Right, okay. Got to recharge, the amount of damage. Okay. So it does 2 effects when it hits. Cool. Alright. Right, okay. So, Roy, I got questions for you about this battery. I just want to confirm the behavior, and then I have one question. So, in here it says, you throw a battery at an enemy, hits them, deals a small amount of blunt damage, deals electric damage. Then it also strikes a nearby enemy with some range, which I'll have editable, right? And then a near enemy to that, and then nearby enemy to that, and so on, all dealing the same amount of electric damage. And it doesn't say there's a limit. And it says it can't strike the same enemy multiple times. So, is that correct? Okay. No limit. And so that's correct, and then, sorry, I got distracted by the train. So, there's no limit. What is, right, okay. There's no limit. I think that's it. I think that's the only question I had. That's correct. What I described. Cool. Fantastic. Okay. For the effect on the battery, electricity, do you just want that same lightning effect that we've been using everywhere? I can make it any color you want, babe.
Because it would be the Hydra gets blue, Mortar gets blue, the Tesla coil is white.
Oh, it's blue right now too, though. You can change it. The kind of white and blue, I think. I don't remember. We can change it. Yeah, those are completely editable because it's just a prefab with the lines set up. So you can just change the color of the lines to whatever you want. Meow. Yes, you do. Our cat gets fed at 5. She always starts meowing leading up to that, going, "Where's my food? Where's my food?" It's like, it's not done yet. It's not ready. It's not time. Darlino. I'm having a crisis here. I'm out of Dr. Pepper in my hand, but not in the fridge. Dr. Pepper online.
Because I looked at the Tesco store pins. It's like, yeah, it's $1.77 per 6-pack Dr. Pepper.
My hair is so messy. I'm listening. I'm just fixing my hair at the same time.
From this Tesco.
Well, that's dumb.
Like, you can get like 24 packs that are £8 from B&M.
From B&M.
So I have to look that later.
Okay. Well, you can come with me because I need to go to get. Well, we'll go together if you want. We'll feed little one early before we go. Because I need to go get my prescription. Sorry, this is really boring domestic stuff. Y'all streamers probably do not want to hear this. Anyway, please, I would love it if a fairy brought me some more Dr. Pepper from the fridge.
Go see my King Fairy's live.
I'm a very spoiled wife. I have many fairies that bring me things. Like this little hair on the top of my head. I feel like a sprout. Right, okay. This is a new haircut, by the way. It's very new as of Friday. Chopped everything off. Attempted to dye it black with henna, but it's just gone slightly darker brown. So I apparently don't know what I'm doing. Right, okay, so batteries. Oh. Oh, it's a cat fairy. Oh, thank you. She's put her down. She's not happy. Oh. Yes, hello. Yes, hello. Say hi, Willow. Say hi. She won't meow. She doesn't meow on command. now that we put her down. She's the sweetest cat in the entire world. Like, never, ever, ever scratches. Ever. No matter how much you play with her tummy. Like, most cats are like, you do that, but not her. Anyway. Alright, batteries. Right. Stuff and things. Um, so, I can get this started. So we got a weapon. Right, okay, it's going to deal damage. It's going to deal 1 fire damage. What? Surely not. Okay, no, okay, I don't understand because coal shouldn't be dealing 1 fire damage, and that's what I just copied this from. How how very odd. Where's my coal? What do? Is coal really only supposed to deal 1 damage? I don't think that's right. I might be wrong. A cat just walked on my foot. Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. That's a designer problem. Alright, this is gonna deal 5. Oh. No, it doesn't deal 1 fire damage. It does something when you fire. Oh dear. It's fine. I'm just going a little bit mad. Okay, so what we actually want. Where is damage dealing? Surely it should be here. Damage. Okay, I got too many things open. Let's just get rid of these. This is just driving me a little bit into confusion. Alright, here we go. Blunt damage. So that deals 10. We're going to deal 5 blunt damage. But then we're also going to have another weapon damage. And let's put it up here with this one so that it's... Yeah, shut up. So that it's not confusing. And that's going to deal 20. And that's going to be lightning. Okay, so that will be the initial damage done. But we need to do this chain effect, which is going to be interesting. So... how do I do this? With my beautiful module system. Probably easiest way is to create a separate weapon. Let's remove this actually. Let's create a separate weapon. So CG, batteries, projectile, lightning chain, weapon. Or maybe this makes more sense to say weapon, lightning chain. Okay, we're gonna have a weapon. Alright, now this weapon will not auto fire. Okay, definitely not. Okay. I'm gonna say weapon, target required. Yep. Targeting module. Okay, I'm not gonna do melee. We're gonna have probably a new type of targeting module. Um, okay, target type filter, and that's gonna be 3 enemy, mid ground, projectiles. Okay. Alright. Then we're gonna use the chain thing to sort these. And then we don't need a max targets filter. We'll have a max chain distance filter. And then we'll do weapon damage. And this will be on fire. And this will be 20 lightning damage. Okay. And we'll clear targets. That won't matter, but we'll just do it anyway. And this clears targets on fire. We'll do the same. Okay. Okay. So now, the other thing we want is to fire that when this one fires. So right. Weapon fire. Okay, so what this will do is it's will be a weapon action that will fire a secondary weapon. So it's sort of a way to chain weapons together. So here's one we're working on, weapon fire, and this is another weapon action. And because I'm so very lazy, we're going to be copying this. Fire another weapon on weapon event. Okay. So we'll have weapon to fire, and that's all we need. And all we will do is fire. Okay. That should be pretty easy. Right, okay. So now this weapon, oh, it's upset. Oh, because I've been silly. Okay, so now this weapon, we'll do weapon fire. When we fire, and we'll fire this. And this weapon will now get fired. So now this weapon just needs its way of selecting its targets, and then it needs its chain effect. However, I think I can just use the same chain effect that I used for the Tesla coil for the batteries. And then obviously it would just need a different lightning, but should work. So hoorah for reusing stuff. So let's see about the targeting modules. So we don't want actions. Okay, we're going to do weapon, target, sort, chain. So what this will do is it will take all the possible targets, sort them based on which is the closest to the thing of firing. Then it will take the next one and say, okay, which is the closest, which of the other ones are closest to that. Then it'll take the next one and say, which of the other ones are closest to that, and so on and so on and so on, until we have these in an ordered, sorted way where they are going in the closest amount, one to the next. So I need to write that now. So let's see here. If we go, let's get out the sort distance, because it's going to be really similar to sort distance. Sort targets based on distance in order from one to the next. Maybe just say from one to the next. All right. Let's see. Okay, so this might take me a little bit to figure out what I'm doing. We're not going to have a distance sort type. We don't need to do that. Okay. We'll have a position. All right, so I think the easiest way... All right. I'm just trying to work this out. I'm probably going to have to redo some of this as I go. But I'm going to try typing this out as I sort of think through it, and then we'll see. So count. So what we're going to do is for each one. And then remaining targets equals new list defense. Remaining targets add range. Can I... How do I do this? What I'd like to do... Okay. Okay. Alright, we've constructed I remaining. So that will be everything in the future from that we're looping through here. And oh, bugger. This is going to be difficult. Alright, let's change this. Remaining targets equals new list defense. All right, this is going to be better. So remaining targets. So what I'm going to do now instead of what I was doing is not going to work because I was modifying a list while I was iterating through it and everything was going to be terrible. No. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to construct this list of remaining targets using the potential targets as the input to the list to begin with. So remaining targets dot add range potential targets. Okay. So copy the list over first of all. Then while remaining targets count is greater than 0. So while there's still things in it, we're going to go through it one by one, find the closest one to our current position, and then move on. So we're also going to have list sorted targets equals new list defense. Okay. Right, okay. So we're going to be taking things out of this remaining targets and putting them into the sorted targets. So for int I equals 0, I less than remaining targets dot counts plus plus I. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to have a vector to position pos equals position. We'll say position. Okay. Defense closest target equals null. Okay. Equals remaining targets 0. Let's start at 1. Okay. If if remaining targets I dot transform dot position, no wait, dot position. So I do that because these defenses aren't necessarily aware of the actual position of the item is. So position is actually a property that will go get the right thing. Remaining targets dot position minus m position dot square magnitude is, let's do this, float distance equals closest target dot position minus position dot, it was just position, minus, not equals, gosh, what? I can't type today. Alright, dot square magnitude. Okay. So, and then we can do new distance. And that's this. If new distance is less than distance, we'll say closest distance, then closest distance equals new distance, closest target equals remaining targets I. Alright, so loop through that, then sorted targets dot add closest target. So whatever we came back with being the closest target, we add at that point. And then sorted targets, remaining targets, remove closest target. Okay, so what I've got here is we have our remaining targets and sorted targets start out empty. Then we add all the potential targets to the remaining targets. Then, while we still have remaining targets, oh, I forgot one thing. We need to reset position down here. So the new position will be closest target dot position. Okay, that's the change. That's why it'll be a chain, not closest, not just a list of the things that are closest to the actual initial point. It's whatever's closest to each thing in the chain. Okay, cool. That seems like it's gonna work. Now, I think that's right. I think that's gonna work. Okay, so let's see. Do we have any errors? Yes. What have we got? Cannot convert. Okay, so we've got transformed. Right, okay. That's fine. Dot position. And we've got a vector 2, vector 3 issue. Let's just change this to a vector 3. Thank you. Alright, fantastic. That's fine. So now we need to add, so now we've got them sorted, but some of these might be farther away than what we actually want. So we need to add a weapon target filter chain distance. So not just distance, chain distance, okay? So what this will do is it needs to happen after the sorting, and it's going to filter them. So we'll go down and we'll say, all right, what do we want? We don't need well, we kind of need an initial position as well for this one. So we need float max distance. Right, okay. So that's fine. We'll leave it like that for now. We potentially have something else later. Oops. Have I done this wrong? Okay, that's the new one. What am I doing? Okay, so that's a filter. So let's get type filter. Here's another filter. Let's see if those methods are correct. Okay. So we're gonna need. Sorry, I realized I had it over there, and that wasn't helpful to you guys at all. Let's leave it here. Let's put this over here. So I've got too many things open. Get out. Get out everything. I don't need you all. We'll keep these. Okay, so this is what we want. So we do want position still, I think, for the initial one, and then we need float. Let's see. Max distance. Potentially might do min distance, but I don't need it right now, and I'm not gonna deal with it right now. So this starts getting complicated because we got can target mask and all this shit. We really don't need much. We only need to actually apply the filter. So we got filtered targets. We'll go through the potential targets. And all we need to do is vector 3 position equals m position dot position. How many times can I say position in one bit of code? All right, and then position equals potential targets I. That happens at the end. And before that, we say if position, no, is if potential targets dot, say I dot position minus position dot magnitude is less than max distance. We'll say greater than or equal to. So if we have a problem, break. Chain is broken. Otherwise, filtered targets, add potential targets I, and then carry on. So all this was do is walk through, say, if at any point this distance is too large, get out of town, we're done. So that means, yeah, should be great. Should work. Should be wonderful. Oh dear. Oh, it's time for me to quit. I'm so into this right now, though. Okay, no, I think this is pretty much there. So, I mean, all right, we got an issue. What do we got? We got okay. So we've got a problem. We just need to position. Okay. Right. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So now we need to weapon chain. No, if I just do chain. So we've got sort chain and filter. Okay, so let's scoot this up. So what this will do is first we go get our target. Okay, it's gonna say it goes to fire. It says okay, we can't fire until we get a target. Go get the target. It's gonna go and get all the enemies in the mid ground or projectiles. Enemies in the mid ground, and it can also include enemy projectiles. Then we go and get this. All right, so we gotta go here. We're gonna do here. Okay, so then we're gonna go ahead and sort the enemies in the chain pattern, and then we're going to do this distance, and we're going to say the max distance is 1 for now. Okay, so that's a decent chunk. Okay. Now, because this battery, this is at almost 3. This is 1. One of these squares. One's a little small. Let's try it. We'll extend that. We're going to say it's going to be 3 to start with. Nice, a little bit bigger. Right, can adjust this. Okay, so that's adjustment for that. Okay, so this should damage those guys with this. The only thing we haven't done, and let's just see if we can add it. We can do tracer round. Okay, tracer. No, not tracer round. We need weapon tracer. Weapon tracer round. Okay, and we're gonna use a Tesla one for now. Okay, and it's gonna be based on chain. And it's gonna do this when it fires. Nope. Fire. Okay. Right. All right. All right. So this should work, I think. But I'm not going to be able to test it right now because unfortunately I do have to go. So I really appreciate anyone who watched the stream live and anyone who watched the stream later. And feel free to contact me if you have any questions about all the stuff I'm doing, if you're interested in how any of it works, if you just have questions in general about games industry. I'm happy to answer them. Makes me feel smart. So please give me contact. You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Giambi or at Bounder Games. And I am really happy to just talk shop with people, or if you even just want to show me some of the cool stuff that you've been doing with your own game dev projects or otherwise, go ahead and just send them to me on there. I always like to see that stuff. So thank you guys again, and hopefully you will tune in again. I'm going to try to be streaming more often now, like hopefully every day. I might change my stream times to later, though, because it occurs to me that I got friends on the west coast of the US who, when I started streaming, it was 6 a.m. They are not going to be awake, right? Okay. So I might start streaming later, like at 5 UK time, because that means that it's 9 in the US, and there's a chance they might actually see my streams. So anyway, thanks everybody, and have a great rest of your day, and I will hopefully talk to you all soon.